First things first, this is not a tutorial. I repeat, this is not a tutorial, okay? So, just to be honest with you guys, I hate doing tutorials. I despise tutorials, and I could probably sit here and try and brainstorm and figure out why and come up with a couple of different reasons, but it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I hate them. I don't like them. So that's why I don't do them that often. So for those of you who like tutorials, I am truly, sincerely, genuinely apologetic, but it'll be a very rare occasion that I do tutorials. Like sometimes if a company sends me something, like a product they want me to review, I'll do a tutorial just to demonstrate how to use that specific product, but I'm not doing it just for fun. Like, hey guys, I got a tutorial for you today. No, it's not like that. That's because I want to demonstrate the product properly and fully so that you guys are completely 100% aware of how it works and what it does and the benefits and the uses and the pros and the cons and all that kind of stuff. So those are the reasons why I would do it for like an educational purpose, but not for fun, because there's nothing fun about a tutorial for me. And I don't think people should get mad about that, because there are like 50 billion YouTubers, beauty gurus who do tutorials. So like a tutorial is not hard to come by. Like most of YouTube are tutorials. So yeah, I'm just not going to be that 1 millionth beauty guru who do tutorials all the time. Plus, I don't even think I'm that good at it. So why should I continue to expose you to something that I'm not even that great at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be over here struggling. I'm not struggling to do my makeup, but just to like teach and convey and explain and, you know, things like that. So it's better for me to just do it. I can show you better than I can tell you, boo. Okay? Yeah. And this is not a professional video. You know, I'm not going to have up a green screen in the back. You're probably going to hear my daughter in the background. You'll either hear the television or her iPad or her playing with her toys or whatever the case is. And also, I may not show you every single step of what I do, because it takes me an extremely long time to do my makeup, number one. I don't know why it takes me so long. I've been doing makeup for a couple of years now. I'm really good at it, but I have not mastered cutting down my routine. I don't know how to do that. And at this point, I'm not really interested in learning. Like, I'm just over that. I'm not interested in rushing or creating any type of shortcuts or, you know, cutting things out of the routine that I don't find necessary. I'm not into that. Like, if it takes me 2 hours, it just takes me 2 hours. It took me a while to accept that, but I've accepted it. It takes me 2 hours to do my makeup, point blank, period. That's just the bottom line. It takes me 2 hours. It doesn't mean the longer it takes, the uglier you are. That's not what that means. That doesn't mean like, oh, well, if you have to take that long, you got to use that much makeup, then obviously you ain't that cute. You got to do too much. It's not that. It's just, I feel like I'm a perfectionist, and I may even have OCD, and I may have ADD. I may have all of that. It could be a combination of all of those. I think it is. So yeah, and I'm also like my worst critic. I'm very critical of my work, so I don't want to do something and be looking like a clown. And I know that I'm a walking, talking billboard and advertisement for what I do as a makeup artist, so I want it to look good, you know what I'm saying? And plus, if I'm a stay-at-home mom, I have nothing but time. It's not like I'm rushing to get ready to go to work or something. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. As I said, this is not a tutorial, so I will not be explaining every single thing that I do. So yeah, at some point I may explain it, and then others I may just do it. So like, for example, right now I'm filling in my brows with some, I think it's called eyebrow cake. See, that's what I'm talking about. I gotta stop what I'm doing, figure out what the name of it is, figure out what the color, all of that. I don't feel like doing all that. Yeah, it's called eyebrow cake, and it's super generic. I wouldn't even be able to tell you where I got it from. I got it as a gift, I think. But to be honest with you, it's just like using eyeshadow. There's no difference. You get an angled brush, you get some brown eyeshadow, and you fill in the brows where you see holes. That's it. Easy peasy. Simple as pie. Is that a saying? Simple as pie? I don't know. But I can't do a whole bunch of talking just because it'll take me a very long time to do my makeup. Like even longer than usual if I talk the entire time. And trust me, I am a talker. And I can't really see that much because I don't have on my contacts or my glasses. So I'm kind of like struggling to see. So sometimes I might bend forward to look closer at the mirror and I might go out of frame. But if I do that, then you know what's up. Alright, so I wanted to talk about a lot of different things today. First of all, I want to talk about what I would be doing if I was not a mother or a wife. I would want to be, and I'm telling you the honest to God truth, and hopefully you guys don't judge me and you're not a judgmental group, but I would want to be a professional gold digger and a professional escort. Shocker. Let me explain. Relationships, they take a lot of time, energy, and effort and commitment. And I feel like if you're going to be in a relationship, do the shit right. Do it correct. Don't half-ass it. You need to give it your 100% all. And people don't do relationships right. So I feel like relationships are one of those things is like you do it completely right or don't do it at all. Like don't waste your time. Don't waste someone else's time. You can save a lot of heartache, heartbreak. You can save a lot of money. You can save a lot of tears. You can save a lot of mistakes and things like that. And I feel like people don't do relationships right this day and age. So think about it. How many successful relationships have you actually had? I'll wait. Because they're not successful if they ended. A successful relationship is someone who you're with forever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not successful if you were with the person and y'all broke up. Like now what? Like what was the point of that? Okay, yeah, you learned some lessons that you can apply to your life, and you know how to approach the next relationship. You know how to go about dating now and all of that. It's a whole bunch of trial and error and stuff. But a lot of times there's a lot of negativity involved. And sometimes you have to ask yourself, is it even worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like there are some people who have so much baggage from bad relationships. They have so many scars. You know, their heart is broken. They have so many shattered pieces they got to pick up, try to piece back together and all this and all of that. So my thing is, I've been in like lots of relationships, and just hindsight is 20/20, meaning I wish I knew then what I know now. And if I'm not the type of person that's willing to put my all into a relationship, I feel like that's a disservice to my partner or to my husband or to my boyfriend or my fiance or whoever it is that I'm dating. It's a disservice to them. It's a lot of hard work, and if you're just not willing to put in that effort and you're not willing to go hard in the paint, then just don't do it at all. It's not one of those things where you can kind of, like I said, half-ass it. It's just not. Like I feel like people need to understand and take relationships more serious than they do. It's not anything to play around with. It's not fun and games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's gonna be, I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun or be happy or jolly in a relationship, but it also is a very serious aspect that comes along with being in a relationship. So I'm just thinking about, all my previous relationships and everything that we went through, and I think back on it and I'm like, I could have went without that. I could have done without that. Yeah, we had some good times and some nice memories and stuff, but I don't know how much of the negative part of it was worth it. The cheating, the abuse, the breakup, the crying, sleepless nights, the heartbreak, and you know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to go through that? Who wants to remember that? Who wants to have to overcome any of that? You know? So, that's why I said, when you're in a relationship, your goal should be to make your spouse happy, to please them, you know what I mean? And to make them proud, and to... My daughter's in the bathroom right here using this, so you may hear her. But if you're not in the business of people pleasing, that's another reason why you shouldn't be in a relationship. Because with your partner, you should always want to, like I said, make them happy, make them proud, please them, put a smile on their face. And some people don't feel like doing all that. So that's why I said, if this relationship right here doesn't work out, I will never enter into another relationship. I'm not interested. Like, I'm over it. I'm not saying I'm over it because of this relationship. I'm over it because of how many relationships I've had before in the past. I'm over it because of how many boyfriends I've had, how many girlfriends I've had, how many sexual partners I've had, how many situationships I've had, how many friends with benefits I've had, how many, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking in general. I'm not saying like I was the world's biggest hoe or nothing. I'm just saying all of everything that I've been through, like, at some point enough is enough. So I would be over it. And see, the thing is like, a lot of people are not gonna have did you stinky booty?
No.
Okay. A lot of people have never experienced a successful relationship, and a lot of people won't. That's just the bottom line. I'm thinking about it. Okay, my husband's mom is divorced. My husband's sister, who's like in her 40s, has never been married, doesn't have kids, and I mean, she's in her mid 40s. So I don't know. To each its own. Maybe that's her personal decision. My husband's brother, he's married, but they're separated. Probably gonna get a divorce, and they were married for over a decade. Never had any kids. None of these relationships around me are really like super thriving or successful or anything. And I'm not judging it just by the ones around me. I'm judging it by factual, statistical information. Like, do your own research if you don't believe me. You don't have to ever believe what someone tells you. You can always look it up yourself. My best friend, she's like 33 and already been married a second time. She's on her second marriage. Wasted all that time with the first marriage because they was married for years, but at least she got 2 beautiful kids out of it. But I don't think getting kids out of a relationship equals success, though. I don't think when you be like, well, at least I got my beautiful daughter, like, I don't think that's like, it's something to be proud of and something that makes you happy and everything, but it's not like people treat it like a consolation prize. Like, well, it was definitely worth it because I got my child. But I don't know. I look at that different. I would rather have a child with the person who I'm going to be with for the rest of my life and not have to co-parent or go through like custody battles, or, you know, the child have to have 2 different lifestyles and 2 different homes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got your child, but it's honestly a disadvantage to the child and a disservice to the child that mommy and daddy are not together. And that's the bottom line. And I'm not saying you can't make a great life for a child who has divorced parents. You can, but at the end of the day, their life probably would have been better had they had a unit where the mother and the father were together in a happy home. Not a home where they're arguing and fussing and fighting, but a happy home where they get along, they're in love. You know what I'm saying? That right there, no one can dispute that. People don't want to admit to it and say, yeah, because they may not be in that situation. And it's okay to say, you know, yeah, that you're right. That would be better for the kid. You know damn well it would be. I don't know why you're trying to sit up here in front and act like it wouldn't. It would. A happy, loving home where the parents are in love and both the biological mom and dad are together. Are you kidding me? How can you dispute that? But like I said, that doesn't mean you can't. Whenever I do my brows on camera, they always come out kind of atrocious a little bit, but this is just a rough draft. But there are some people who do their brows like this and go out and be like, yeah, brows on fleek, brows on point. And I be like, no ma'am. So that's my spiel on relationships. So get back to the professional gold digger and professional escort. With a professional escort, it's not always involving sex, okay? There can be companionship, which is what I would aim for. And I know that sounds unrealistic, but anything is possible, and you can do anything you put your mind to. So basically, there are men out there who would pay just to have a beautiful woman in their presence, just to have eye candy on their arm. And with me, if I were to do something like that, I would be in tip-top shape. Like, my body would be a 10. It would be 100% perfect. Of course, I would have to do more. I can't just be your average, everyday looking person. And just companionship. And you know, the guys, people like company. You know, people like good company, someone who's intelligent, who know how to hold a conversation. I would look for someone who wants companionship, someone to go on trips with them and have fun. You know, someone who enjoys traveling and eating different cuisines, and you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. It does not always involve sex. I would try to exclude that altogether, to be honest with you, because that just becomes a hoe and a prostitute. But I would like somebody to pay me for my time of being in their presence and just hanging out. Like you know, if I wasn't a mom or a wife. Which brings me to my other point. I think, honestly, education is completely overrated. That's another thing. You go to school for 4 years and then you come out with the same amount of debt and student loans that you would have if you were to purchase a home. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. I feel like at one point I was very passionate about education. You know, I was an advocate for extended education. At this point, I'm like, honestly, like an associate's degree or a high school diploma is fine, unless you are trying to become a doctor or an attorney or a surgeon or something specific that requires that. But if you're just trying to work in corporate America and climb your way up the corporate ladder, it's not necessary. I have worked beside people who have had MBAs and masters and different degrees like that I don't have or that I don't possess, and we were doing the same thing, making the same money, and in some instances I was making more. Sometimes it's not necessarily about your education. Sometimes it's about your experience or your personality, because I know people who are introverts. You know, they're very quiet, they're very standoffish, they don't know how to really hold a conversation. They're not a people person. They're just kind of boring and dull. But yeah, they got all this education, but you're not relatable. Like, you're not personable. I beat out people in interviews because of that, because they're like, oh my god, you're so bubbly. And they chose someone like that versus someone who has like a shitload of education experience. So I don't know. I have the gift of gab anyway. I can sell water to a whale. I've always been like that. I got that from my mom. And so, you know, with me, it's very rare that I go to an interview and not get a job. Like, that's usually not the case for me. But I don't know. Like I said, I used to value education, but at this point I just feel like it's just totally unnecessary. You come out with all this debt. They want you to pay the student loans back almost immediately. You don't even got a good job yet, and they already got their hands out. Then you working to pay back your loans. So for the first couple of years of your job, you're not even really profiting from it. You're basically paying your student loans back. This is too thick. I don't like super thick eyebrows. And I think some people just get it because it's expected, like their family tradition is for people in their family to get certain degrees. I also think people sometimes just want to say they have a degree, or they want to seem accomplished, or they want to seem intelligent. But a lot of people who I know who got degrees, they're not even working in their field, or they're making like pennies, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of people with a psychology degree, which was my major, and they're doing like social work or a teacher or something, and that's not really what they wanted to do, but they're just kind of limited unless they go back and get like a doctorate or something. And then even then, it's not like once they do that, they don't really have a shitload of loans then. But even then, after doing all that, they still ain't gonna be getting paid like tons of money. When was the last time you heard someone say, I'm rich and I'm wealthy because I have a degree, I'm working in the field that I majored in? Let's use the Levine life as an example. They're caking over there. Caking. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're millionaires, to be honest with you. They're making buku. Both of them, all they do is YouTube. They don't have to get a job. They don't have to work. So there are more than one way to skin a cat. You don't have to go out here and clock in somebody's job and to make money. Like, to me, honestly, that's kind of like a dead end road anyway, because there's a ceiling. There's always only a certain amount that you're able to make, whereas with YouTube there is no ceiling. You control how much you make. What you put in is what you get out. If one year you can make $500,000, another year you can make $500. With a job, you have a salary, you have a cap. You know, they might have these little small bonuses here and there in sales positions where you have to sell something. Oh, if you exceed your quota, you can get a little bit more money. Oh, whoop-de-doo. And I'm not saying that YouTube is for everybody, because everybody doesn't have the personality for it. Everybody's not going to be, you know, engaging and people are going to want to watch. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just letting you know that I've just seen more situations where people have degrees, whereas they haven't been as successful than not. You know what I'm saying? And I just go by what I see, you know, from experience and stuff like that. And from people that I know, I'm just saying, like, sometimes, more often than not, you can get a degree in something and don't even use it, or don't get paid what you're worth or whatever. And y'all, it's taking me forever to do my brows on camera. It's so difficult for some reason. Ask any other beauty guru. Like, I am not good with doing stuff on camera. Like, when I'm off camera, it's totally different. I don't know why. Because I'm not talking and I can focus, probably. And my brows, I think another reason why it's taking so long is because my brows have not been arched in forever. So there's like hair all over the place. So I'm trying to get it where they're looking uniform. So I finished my eyebrows off camera and I've gotten them somewhat presentable. Your eyebrows are going to be sisters, not twins. So they don't, like your regular eyebrows don't ever look identical. So don't expect your fake eyebrows to look identical. Anyway, I don't have the luxury of growing thick, full eyebrows. Like, people think, oh, why don't you just let your eyebrows grow out and get those arched? I'm sorry, but I'm not that girl. I don't have full, thick brows to where if you arch them, they'll look good. You saw how they looked before I started. They were sparse. They were, you know, holes in them. And I haven't even had my eyebrows arched in forever, and still they were looking thin. And anyway, I struggled with these brows, and I blame it on y'all because I'm on camera trying to do a get ready with me. But anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about before because I started doing my brows, I got distracted or whatever. Hopefully, you know, I made a lot of my points. But what I was saying about education, like I said, I'm not knocking anyone who gets education. Kudos to you. I think it's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can never be too educated. You always want to be conscious and aware and knowledgeable and in the know of what's going on in the world. And, you know, and another thing about the brows too, if they don't look, if they keep not looking right to me, I'll go back and try to like fix them, you know, throughout the routine. But for right now, I need to move on because I've taken entirely too long with him already as it is. And see, this is exactly why I wouldn't be able to do a tutorial. Can you imagine me trying to teach somebody how to do brows that take me 30 minutes to do myself? I mean, I guess I could edit it and make it like shorter or something. So for those of you who don't know, because you're not subscribed to my vlogging channel, I mentioned it a little bit over here too, but I am 20 weeks pregnant. I'm halfway there. You know, pregnancy is 40 weeks, so I'm like smack dab in the middle. Right now, I'm going through a very difficult, complicated, tough time in my life. I deleted my Facebook page and I deleted my Instagram page. I feel like they both are distractions, and I need to focus on more productive things, more positive, uplifting, encouraging, motivating things, because I will reevaluate, what do I get out of Facebook, what do I get out of Instagram. You know, I spent hours upon hours on there just surfing and browsing, and you know, and I just felt like it's not paying my bills, it's not making me money, it's not making me come, you know what I'm saying? It's not doing anything productive for me. But I could be using that time to brainstorm and do other meaningful, fulfilling tasks in my life. You know, you can really get sucked into that world, and just before you know it, that's all you done all day long. And I just don't feel it's productive. Right at this point in my life, I feel like I have too much going on just to be sitting around on Facebook and Instagram. Like, there's so much stuff I need to do and so many things I need to get done, and those two things were not helping me. I mean, what were they doing? Please let me know. So I deleted them. I'm very, 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 very active on Snapchat right now. But you're not going to ever be able to know, because they only keep the stories up for 24 hours. So you're not going to be able to see everything I've done before. You'll only be able to see everything I do forward if you were to follow me on Snapchat. But like, I do these type of videos on Snapchat. Of course, they be broken up because, you know, each video only allowed to be 10 seconds long. But, and right now I am putting on some eyeshadow primer. But yeah, so I do these. So I was like, you know what, I've been doing little videos like this, saying this type of stuff lately on Snapchat. Let me make another video just to elaborate. So that's what I'm doing. I don't have to be anywhere until 2 o'clock. So I was like, today would be a perfect day. It's a Friday to just do a get ready with me video. So that's what I'm doing. This video is going to be super duper long. I know I was talking about the leave-ins before, but like, I know, going back to what I was saying about that, is I know Dee has her degree, but guess what, she uses it because it's business degree, you know, for the business side of YouTube, when dealing with companies and organizations and stuff like that. But really, they would still make the same amount of money whether she had that degree or not, because the videos speak for themselves. The videos is what does the work, not necessarily the negotiating. The negotiating is like the cherry on the top. That's like the icing on the cake. You still gonna get the cake, but that's just like an extra perk if you know how to negotiate, if you know the proper things to say, if you know the right terminology to use, if you know certain negotiation techniques and stuff, then yeah, that's probably getting her more money because she went to business. I mean, she majored in business, and so that's probably helping her. But at the same time, without that degree, for when they vlog, because they have like 5 channels, they still would be making more than the average person, whether she had that degree or not, whether she knew how to negotiate or not. But anyway, so back to this difficult time that I'm going through. Okay, first of all, right now it's July. It's like the beginning of July. And my lease for this apartment is up August 31st. So that means we have like less than 60 days, right? We were approved for a home loan. The approval for that expires August 24th. So make sure you keep up. We got to be out of here by August 31st. but the approval for the home loan expires August 24th, which means we need to have found a home, put in an offer, the offer needs to have been accepted, you know, like stuff like that. But anyway, so we have those dates: August 31st out of the apartment, August 24th home approval is expired. If you don't have a house by then it's expired. You have to go through the process all over again. Then we have a new baby coming November 23rd. That's also around Thanksgiving. Then right after that you have Christmas. Then right after that you have New Year's. I want to be able to bring my baby home from the hospital to my new house with the nursery already set up and things like that. Not in between living spaces, not knowing where I'm gonna go, still transitioning and all of that. No, I already want to be settled in, unpacked. We have that, and then so that's pretty much it. I would love to celebrate this year's Thanksgiving in my new house. I would love to have my baby's first Christmas in our new house, a home that we own, that we're paying a mortgage on, you know. And with me being a stay-at-home mom, I'm not like actively really working, you know, besides YouTube and maybe occasionally doing makeup on the side. I'm not bringing in as much money as I would like. Like at this point you need a lot of money because you need money for the house, you know, for moving and certain fees with house. And then you need money for baby, and then you need money for Christmas. So it's all happening right at the end of the year, and it's all happening at one time. And that's another reason why I deleted Facebook and Instagram, because I was getting so overwhelmed because everything is happening so much all at once. I even told my family and friends, like, this is not a good time to communicate with me because I'm not going to be the same Shanika that you're used to, because I'm not in that mindset. Like, my mind is going a million miles per hour. I have so many things I need to do, so many things I need to accomplish, so many things I need to get done. You know what I'm saying? I have so many deadlines to meet, and I just don't want to sit around and have idle ass conversations, meaningless ass conversations. I don't feel like keying it up, gossiping, or just like being on the phone listening to each other breathe, not really having any valid, meaningful, intellectual discussions. Like, that's just not where I'm at right now. And my life right now is serious. This is some serious shit happening. Closing on the house, having a baby. My daughter has to start pre-K in the fall because she's never been to any type of schooling whatsoever, and she's going to be 4 this month. So before you go to kindergarten, you have to be exposed to some type of school, some type of education, some type of structure. So pre-K is very, very highly recommended. So she has to do that, and that costs. That's not even free. So we got to get money for pre-K, because it's not like regular school where it's free. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. So you thinking about all these costs, babies and pre-K and houses and all of this. Why would I want to sit around on the phone and like talk about anything that's not getting money? You know what I'm saying? And I have never ever been one to chase paper ever. Like, some people hustle hard as hell. They got side hustles, they got 5 jobs, they, you know what I'm saying, like they do a lot to get money, and I've never been like that ever. This is the only time where money is important to me because I have all of this stuff going on. And this is the only reason why, because it's a requirement. I never chase money for hair or for clothes or for design or anything, or for shoes or for jewelry, or, you know, like, I've never been the type. I'm, like, to be honest with you, really lazy. And I don't feel like doing all that hustling and bustling trying to get money. If I have a roof over my head and I got reliable transportation, I got food on the table, clothes on my back, if I have the basic necessities, I'm not about to do a whole bunch of extra stuff trying to get more money to live the paparazzi lifestyle. You know? I want to travel abroad and internationally. I want to go on vacations multiple times a year. I do want to do all of that, but at what cost? You know, like a car with wear and tear, putting a lot of miles on your car. You know, I'm not going to put a lot of wear and tear on my body and look 10 years older than I normally am because I'm out here doing the most, trying to get this money, trying to get this paper. Like, I'm not. But don't get me wrong, I am willing to work, because before I had my daughter, I worked at the same company for 5 years. 5 entire years. A lot of people don't keep a job that long. They, you know, jump from job to job or position to position. But I was a certified financial counselor for 5 whole years. So, but yeah, so like I said, it's just a difficult time. And like my cousin, she sent a group text out saying, hey guys, I want to go on a cruise next year with the family, and they have a payment plan where you can pay X amount a month. And so I'm gonna call and get a group rate and go ahead and tell y'all, you know, how much it would be a month for each one of you. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, I am barely making it. I'm holding on by the hair of my chinny chin chin right now. We got so much stuff going on. Like I said, new baby, pre-K, house. And you talking about going on a cruise, which is luxury, that's recreational, that's leisure. Like, no, it pissed me off because I'm like, people really don't know the struggle. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and they just going on about their regular life. And it's not their fault, and it's not their responsibility. You know, it's not like I go around broadcasting what's going on and asking for handouts and making people feel sorry for me or have like a pity party or anything like that. I don't do that kind of stuff. That's not my style. That's tacky and it's inappropriate, and don't nobody care because everybody got their own struggles. But I'm just like, I'm gonna warn her just this once, because she do know, you know, I'm trying to buy a house. She do know about Ridley going to school. She do know I got a baby coming. She do, you know, she knows that. She might not know all the details involved, but she know I got a lot going on. So the last thing I want to discuss right now is going on a cruise next year and making monthly payments. If I'm going to make monthly payments to something, it need to be towards something like that's going on right now in my life. It's called priorities. Having your priorities in order. But, you know, a lot of these YouTubers buying these big ass houses and, you know, living a luxury life, they have like 500,000 subscribers and like millions and billions of views. So, you know, I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't given up either, but I really want to focus on vlogging. Like, eventually I'm going to discontinue this beauty channel. Y'all don't appreciate this anyway over here. It don't hurt my feelings. It just let me know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I have really thick, tough skin, and I really don't care that much about what people think about me. That's another thing. Like, let me tell you what's really funny. It's funny when, like, I'll use my green screen in my professional videos, and then someone's like, oh my god, a green screen, and they'll put a laughing, crying face. And I'll be thinking to myself, like, they act like they just found the cure for cancer. The fact that they figured that out. It's not rocket science, baby girl. That's easy as hell to know when I have a green screen up and when I don't. Like, are you kidding me? Like, they act like I'm trying to keep that a secret or something, or like they just discovered like some deep-rooted, top-notch secret or something. I'm just be like, okay, what's your point? Like, I'm still waiting for you to make a valid point. Duh. That's what Hollywood studios use. That's what big time producers and, you know, people like that use. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed about when it comes to a green screen. Don't nobody want to be watching no video with stuff like this in the background all the time. Clothes hung up and shower curtains and chairs and all that kind of stuff. Don't nobody want to see that. So I go the extra mile. I put up a green screen. I put in a nice background. I would think that you would like it and appreciate it, but people try to call you out like they just discovered that there's life on the moon or something. Oh my god, that's a green screen. Like, okay, do you want a damn cookie, honey? I'm glad you know what a green screen is. Kudos to you. I think that my hormones are making me be very open and candid and like discuss a lot of things with you guys that I normally wouldn't bring up or that I normally wouldn't talk about. That has to be what it is. I really don't care. So, I mean, what has Karen gotten me though? What has it gotten me? Is it going to pay my closing costs on my house? Is it going to pay for my daughter's education? Is it going to make sure that we are closed on a house by the time my baby get home from the hospital, you know, is it going to buy my daughter's Christmas? I've tried to be genuine and caring and sincere and all that kind of stuff, and I honestly don't see that it's gotten me that far. It really has. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, it really hasn't. Like, I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's a feel-good situation. That's pretty much all it is. It makes you feel good. Like, you know, maybe you get good karma or good at the end of the day, or good vibes or something, but that's about it. Now I'm going to go off camera and do my wing liner, because that's definitely something I can't do on camera. It'll take me just as long as it took me to do my brows. So I'm going to come back. Alright, I'm back. So while I was away, I did my liquid liner, my wing liner, and I also put my lashes on and put my contacts in. These are prescription contacts. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my face, and then we'll be done. First I'm going to color correct, and that's just for like any dark areas that I see. I'm going to put some peachy coral color on there just to kind of combat that color and get it under control. Erase it. See, like this is kind of dark. Now watch when you put orange on it, or peachy or coral or whatever. See how it cancels out the darkness. So that's called color correcting. And if you put foundation over it, even if it's full coverage, sometimes it still will shine through. Like, it's still probably gonna shine through, but like right here, and it's kind of like a natural contour, because that's where I put my contour anyway, but still it just bothers me. I'd rather just cover it up and then do contour with a product instead of using my natural contour line. But see how that works? You just, and this step is totally optional. Like, you could get away with not doing this. I do it all the time, but sometimes, like, I feel like color correcting, it just makes you have an overall better, like, fluid, polished look, and you don't have a lot of discoloration going on. You want to get your skin to an even canvas. And this way too, you don't have to use as much foundation either. If you can get it kind of even before the foundation goes on, you don't have to use as much. So that's why I do it too, because I don't want to use a lot of foundation. It's gonna look like I use it a lot, but it's really just like a dime size or a quarter size. So anyway, y'all, I have brought y'all up to date with what's going on in my life, and I've never had to struggle like, you know, like a lot of some people have gone through a hard knock life. They've struggled and they've been through a lot financially and stuff, and I guess, you know, growing up I didn't go through any of that. So now when adversity strikes, you know, I don't really know how to deal with it. I shut down and I cut people off, and I just want to be isolated. Like, that's how I deal with it, because I know my attitude is going to be poor. It's going to suck. It's going to be sour. Why would you want to be around a negative Nancy or a critical Carol or, you know, anything like that? Who wants to be around that? Like, I'm just not going to be pleasant. I'm not going to be the same person. I'm not at that point where I'm finding the good and the bad and all of that. Like, I do find good and bad, but I just feel like right now this is a time of reflection. I need to be like meditating and praying, and you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. I don't need no distractions, no outside forces interfering with what's going on or whatever. So I cut people off. I stopped communicating with them. I stopped, you know, doing everything I used to do. And that's how I cope. That's how I deal. And people need to respect that. Like, my cousin told me, the same one who wants to go on a family cruise, that it's selfish that I haven't been answering her phone calls, or we haven't been talking. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? How is that selfish? So you want me to do something to accommodate you and something to appease you and something that's pleasurable to you and something that makes you happy, but you're not considering my feelings. That's like very contradictory. Like, it's selfish because I won't talk to you how we used to talk, but you're not really considering what I'm going through and how I feel. Like, if I was in a deep depression and you were still expecting me to talk to you and have a regular conversation, how is that selfish? I don't understand. Like, I think it's selfish of you to expect me to perform at my, you know, at my normal when things in my life are not going normal right now. I shouldn't be considered a major part of anyone's life except for my husband and my daughter. If somebody doesn't talk to me, they should not lose sleep. They shouldn't cry. They should move on with their life and keep it moving. It just confuses how that is selfish, because I guess she's saying, oh, so you're going to make other people suffer because you're suffering. I guess. I don't know how it's selfish. This is some Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. You're supposed to spray it on after you're done with your makeup, but I like my brushes to be a little damp. And I'm not gonna dampen it with water. I usually dampen it with the MAC Mineralized Charged Water Skin Hydrating Mist, but I'm running out of that. It's only a little bit left and it won't really spray out like I want it to, so I just switched to using the Scandinavia. I have used the same exact products for years. It's very rare, you know, that I switch it up. I just don't. And plus my stuff lasts me a long time. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not a product junkie like a lot of people. They have to have the latest and the greatest and the most expensive and name brands, and I'm not like that. I can get the same look with some cheap stuff. Just like this foundation is drugstore foundation. So yeah, this brush is a Sonia Kashuk brush, and it's one that I've never seen before. It's very weird. See how it looks. I don't know. It kind of blends and buffs and all of that at the same time. That's why I like it. I don't like rubbing foundation on. I like to blot and do it that way, because if I just color correct it and put all that stuff in different spots, and then I go in and I'm swooshing it all around, it's gonna take it off the spot that I put it on. So instead of smearing it around and I wanted to stay on that spot, I just blot. And you don't ever want to put too much makeup on your forehead, because your forehead just doesn't need a lot of makeup. And I like to go back over, let it dry a little bit, then go back over it. I like full coverage. It's to each its own. Like, some people are like, oh, you don't have to put on that much makeup, and that's not necessary. It's not about what's necessary, what's a requirement. It's about what I like and what I feel like and what I'm in a mood for. That's what it's about. It's not, oh, you're so pretty without that much makeup. Your natural beauty is just breathtaking. I like makeup. I like to wear it. It makes me feel confident. I like a polished, flawless look. Those are things I like. I don't understand why people don't get it. I'm way more confident in makeup than I am without it. And I know I'm not ugly without it. That ain't what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted, okay? That's not what I'm saying. I just feel like I like to cover up any problem areas, any blemishes, any dark spots, any, you know, I like to cover that stuff up so it can be even and smooth. I don't see how that doesn't make sense. To each his own. It's whatever your personal preference is. No one opinion is right or wrong. But what matters the most is mine. That's what matters most. Mine matters because this is my routine and my face. I feel like everybody should do what they like and what makes them comfortable and what makes them happy and what makes them feel confident. So I consider my relationship super successful because we've been together since 2004 and it's 2016. Now, let's see. People define success as different things. What may be considered success to you may be different than what I consider success, and that's fine. But I'm going to tell you what I think is success. We've been married for 7 years. We've been together for what, like 12 or something? Let's see. 04 to 05, 05 to 06, 06 to 07, 07 to 08, 08 to 09, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12. 12 to 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15 to 16. Yeah, we've been together for like 12 years, been married for like 7. So we've been together over a decade, and I'm going to tell you what's successful. It's successful. Success doesn't mean that you've had a perfect relationship and that no one cheated or that you've never considered separating or any of that. Success means you've been through some shit and you made it through. You didn't throw in the towel. You didn't get separated. You didn't get a divorce. You didn't break up. That's what success is. Just like with these brows. They was a hot ass mess when I first started. But it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. So everybody's going to start out on a honeymoon stage, but are you going to maintain that relationship? What's your longevity going to be like? How long are y'all going to be together? You're going to be together forever? Because I think that's the point of a relationship, is to find somebody who you're truly, deeply, madly in love with, who you want to spend the rest of your life with. But otherwise, if that's not the point, what is the point? We're not paying hot potato relationships or musical chairs relationships. Who does that? That drains you. That actually takes away from what you're able to contribute to your next relationship, because you're so drained from the previous relationship. You done gave you all in the previous relationship, and now it's like a battery on a cell phone. It depletes, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're depleting yourself. You are depriving who you're gonna really be with of like your full potential, because you spent so much time, energy, and effort into meaningless relationships that fail. So mine is successful because we are still together. We don't have any plans on separating or divorce or anything. So what? We've been through stuff, but guess what? A lot of people can't say they've been through it and they came out on the other end. That's what they can't say. They can say, yeah, we went through something and he cheated, so we broke up, or we went through some financial hardship, he lost his job, and we couldn't maintain financially, and that put a strain on our relationship, so we broke up. We done been through all that. We done been through cheating, financial situations, but guess what? We still here, and still I rise. And if you don't succeed the first time, try again until you get it right. And that's what we did. And it's a conscious decision and a conscious effort. Both parties got to be willing to stick it out and try to make it work and do whatever. Go to counseling, pray, go to church, read the Bible, meditate, talk it out, therapy, whatever you got to do. But what's not successful is giving up and throwing in the towel. There's nothing successful about that. So that's why I say, people probably be like, oh, but didn't you cheat on him, or didn't he cheat on you, or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that probably was a segment in our relationship. That probably was a phase in our life. That probably was just one obstacle that we were able to overcome. The whole point is to overcome it, to get through it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like we're successful. That's why I'm like, the odds of being in a successful relationship, like, what are the odds you're going to meet somebody, fall in love with them, be happy forever, and stay with them for the rest of your life? It's not. That's why I said gold digger or professional escort. This relationship stuff, honey, it's like probably one of the hardest things that people have to endure, or that people go through. Just look around. I'm pretty sure you know more people who've broken up than people who've stayed together. You know more people who've gotten a divorce than people who've gotten married. You know more people who've gotten separated, more people who've, you know what I'm saying, like, left one person to be with another person or whatever. And so that's why I'm like, I would do that. I wouldn't do professional escorting to be a hoe or to be a prostitute or nothing like that. It's not about that. You guys don't know, but I just went and made my daughter a whole entire lunch, and I ate lunch too. But anyway, so look, I was saying before I left, I know y'all tired of hearing about this, but when you're in a relationship, you're responsible for someone else's happiness. And sometimes people don't like all of that responsibility. It's just too much. You can barely make yourself happy, but let alone make somebody else happy. And that's why I feel it's selfish if you're going to enter into a relationship and not give it your all. Just like when you do a job, you have to do your job description. You have to give it your all. You have to work like it's your company when it's even if it's not. So that's the same thing. So I feel like I am burnt out from that. You know, I like my setup. I love my husband. I think he's my soulmate and everything. But if it didn't work out, God forbid, honey, you won't catch me in another relationship. We can be friends. But that's it. Everybody deserves the best from someone else. And if you feel like you're not prepared to offer the best or be the best, you are taking an opportunity away from them to be with someone who is willing to do all that. If you're not. So I left this on the entire time I was doing what I was doing with my daughter, so it's hard to blend because it's like so dry now. I know the lighting just changed, but if this was like a professional video, I guess I would try to make sure that it was like perfect lighting. Y'all know a lot of times the African American females, when they get pregnant, their nose spreads. I don't know what that's about, but I don't need my nose spreading any more than what it's already done. Okay guys, this is the final look. Let me see if I can move the camera down or something so you can kind of see me. You can kind of get an idea. So yeah, that's it. Lipstick on my teeth. Thanks for getting ready with me today. I apologize if I was ranting and venting and being negative, but that's how I feel. That's the mood I'm in. Those are the things that are on my mind, and I just wanted to get them off my chest. So yeah, and this is my shirt. You've probably seen this before. The color is really not picking up on camera. I'll show you guys my baby bump too. ignore everything that's on the floor around me.
You ready?
I'm ready. You want to come say hey to the people?
Yeah.
All right, let me take your scarf off.
Okay.
You gotta put you on a headband too.
Yeah. Hi.
Say cheese.
Cheese and a hi and the city and the Monday baby and the Monday be say and to say goodbye.
Goodbye. Mwah.
Mwah.
Oh, and that reminds me too, another thing I wanted to say about the green screen is that every beauty guru's background looks the same. The Christmas lights, the scented candle burning, the shoes in the background on the shelf. With me, I want to be a little bit more original, think a little bit more outside of the box. That's very cliche. I'm not interested. I'm not trying to be in formation. So when I do the green screens, you get a different background each time. Who wouldn't be grateful and happy for that? That's how I know people just be hating just to be hating, because they don't got shit else to do with their time. Because you should be happy. You should be like, oh, I wonder what kind of background she gonna have this time, instead of saying the same one over and over and over. Like, I don't understand. You can't ever please anybody, but guess what? You know what the remedy is to that? You do what's pleasing to you. And I love green screens. It's exciting to me to look for the different backgrounds and stuff like that. Is so fun. And I don't even be knowing what background I'm gonna use until I start Google searching and stuff like that. So yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.